Well, don't hit the button.
I already hit the button. Now what do we do?
Hello? Don't hit the button. We're not ready.
Too late. I hit the button. Patrick, don't lie. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cubist. My name is Bill Corey. I am the Cubist. And sorry, we're running a little bit late, everybody. Technical difficulties on my end. My computer was being difficult. And I also apologize for being in a tank top, but it is hot as hell in Cubist Central today. I don't know what's going on, but apparently climate control is not my friend over the last couple of days. So anyway, hi. Well, thanks for hanging out last week. I hope everything was good.
It was great last week. You weren't here. We were out of control.
Isn't that always how it goes when I'm not here? That's sort of a thing, right?
That's general policy.
All right. Speaking of which, Mr. Patrick Hillier, hello, sir.
Hello. How are you doing?
Do you have anything fun on your shelf behind you besides like 6 copies of No Thanks?
Amazon had like a pop-up sale, and we played No Thanks, if you don't recall, at BGG, and we had so much fun with it.
Yes, we played it in the Pho restaurant.
Yeah, I bought multiple copies and said, I'm just going to give these out next time I need to give away a game because I enjoyed playing that so much.
Okay. Well, if I recall correctly, the copy that we played at the Vietnamese restaurant kind of wrecked it.
That was another reason.
Yeah, there's like
one of these three maybe my own.
Might live with you. There you go.
Yeah.
Mr. Brendan Kemp, hello, sir.
Hello. What's happening?
Hey, thank you for joining us tonight. I know you had options of other places to be. It's nice to have you.
Sometimes you just gotta step away from game night.
There you go. And good job not wrecking your shin on a cement step.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was a bit worried when I walked up the steps after taking the trash down. I was like, surely Bill doesn't want to have another step injury.
Yes. Kimberly it can't be with us tonight, obviously, and she apparently wounded herself gravely on her way to her game night that she's at. So good job with the shin buster, Kimberly. Try not to die. Please stop killing yourself on random objects. All right. A couple quick pieces of show business before we get rolling, because I always forget to do this crap until the very end of the show, and then I feel like I'm just sort of blurting it out. So I'm going to start up at the top. We had a contest that ended 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't sent stuff out. So hang in there. Everybody that sent an email that got picked as a winner, I've got them, and I will send you emails to the email address from which you sent the contest entry. You'll reply to that email with your address. I know a couple people have reached out via Twitter. I appreciate it. And then from there, that's just the easiest way to distribute everything. So thank you for your patience. Sorry for the confusion and for the delay, but we'll get all that stuff sent out in the next few days. So
I will send my copy via Odin's Ravens.
Nice.
And it's going to duct tape the box to a bird and see what happens?
Yep, I am.
Oh, okay.
We'll send 2 of them.
Matt in the chat first. Matt in the chat says he's already taken care of his. So thank you, Matt. All right, so it's mostly just me. It's my fault, but that's
Matt in the chat added a bunch of stuff too. He, according to his geek cheat list too.
Did he give away more stuff last week? I haven't watched last week's show.
Well, no, it wasn't mentioned on the show, but after the show, he threw in a bunch of stuff into the prize package.
Oh,
according to his geek list.
According to
I stalk him. I stalk him on BGG.
Well, that's creepy. Awesome. Well, good job. I don't use any of the functionality of BGG for like geek friends and that kind of stuff. I know it exists. I never use it. I don't know.
Sure.
But all right. Matt in the chat says he added some extras. By the way, hello, chat room. I missed you guys last week. I hope everything went well. Did you, chat, let me know if they screwed up the show last week. You're here, so I assume it couldn't have been too wretched.
Well, it's a bunch of different people, though. There's some people I don't recognize.
Oh, none of these people are the ones that were here last week? It's all
Some of them
folks.
are. Some of them are.
Okay. That's cool. Very good. Of course you do. Geek list for all games you get, and another one for all you get rid of. Jesus, holy crap!
I think 3 of us here now do.
Yeah, I just updated mine like 5 minutes ago.
Oh my god!
I need to update mine tonight when we get off here.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe clearly I'm the weirdo here. Everybody else is like, I have a geek list of things that I do, and I'm like, geek lists are a pain in the butt, and I don't ever want to do that.
Glasses when you're saying that, though.
Yes. Excuse me. Yeah, there you go. So, all right. Tonight, we're going to talk about the best of 2017. We're going to talk about whatever we think our favorite games of this year were. and my computer is being a jerk. So if I lag out here and there, just kind of bear with me. But before we go to games of the year, let's start with games we've been playing recently, stuff that we've played that we're really big on. We have had no prep time before the show started, so this is going to be even more chaotic than usual, because literally when you saw me type in the chat, almost there, thanks for being patient, and then I hit play, that was me getting the computer up and running. So we had no time to talk. So if everything is ridiculous, then that's my fault. But so I'm just going to throw you under the bus. Patrick, I'm looking at your I'm trying to look behind your shelf. Is there anything specific? No,
I didn't even have time to prepare. I mean, I did, but I didn't prepare.
Oh,
what I haven't actually played a lot this week. I'm going to talk about the Gollum edition of Century Spice Road. So we have a new gaming cafe. It's actually been open a little while, but I finally stopped in. They did something different. They're doing their 12 days of Christmas, so they waived all their fees and just said try to get more people to come in. They just said come in and play games. So my wife and I were out shopping, and we stopped in and had a cup of coffee and played a game. And we had played the Century version, and I just wanted to play it to look at it and see how it was different. And from my understanding is it's not any different than Century. It's just a reskin. It does have bigger, chunkier crystals if you've played Century. So for those who haven't played Century, it's an engine builder. You start with 2 cards. One allows you to draw more of these little crystals, and the other one allows you to upgrade your crystals. There's 4 types of crystals. Yellow, pink, blue, and green, and I think they're yellow, green, and then blue, and then pink in this game are the order, and I don't know can't remember what they represent. And you use them to buy victory point cards, and the first person to get six victory point cards ends the game, and then you win it if you have the most victory points. And my wife likes it a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say,
the clause maybe buying us a copy.
Nice. You talked about Century Spice Road on the show before.
That's correct. I did. I don't
burned out on it pretty hard, right?
I did, but it's a game that she likes and she can beat me at. So she expressed interest in getting a copy. So
gotcha. Okay, so now it's just going to be a part of your life for a while, huh?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to having games that.
That's fair.
That she wants to play. But anyway, this version, the art's really cute. These sort of moving mountainous golems, and like I said, the crystals are a bit chunkier, and it definitely has a place for it. Trevin asks if there's room for Century and Splendor. Yeah, I think so. I think they're 2 different games. Especially from what I hear about Splendor's add-ons, adding a lot of different variety of the game. There's 4 different expansions in the city expansion.
Gotcha. I have not played Century Spice Road or other Spice Road or any Spice Roads that I'm aware of. I have played Splendor a few times. I don't hate Splendor. Splendor is, to me, one of those games that is it is almost the definition of a play it. I feel no need to have this in my collection, but if somebody else wants to play it, sure, whatever, it's fine. It's easy. It's inoffensive. It's inoffensive. That's a good word for that game, right?
Yeah.
Is Century Spice Road, does that fall into that same sort of inoffensive?
Yes.
Yes.
There's really nothing wrong with it.
Yep. There's just also nothing really right with it.
Correct.
That's how I felt about it.
But to be perfectly honest, I did go away from this last play of at least, what if I did this different next time? I'm actually thinking about, not necessarily strategies, but just different ways to play the game. Like, what if I bought more of these or did this a little differently? So it's not, like I said, it's not earth shattering, but it's definitely something that there's some strategy there, because obviously she's beaten me twice now. So
gotcha. All right. In the chat, they asked if there's, or it has been mentioned that there is not room for both versions of Century.
No, there's not. No, they're exactly the same game.
Right. Okay. So you definitely don't need both.
It's just like, do you like space, or do you like, trading the Mediterranean? I mean, they're just the look.
Okay.
There's really no difference.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I gotta say, this is probably going to be one of those games that if I ever end up at like a normal game night and somebody brings Century, I will play it. But I don't like. I'm not going to seek this one. It just doesn't feel like, I don't know. It just doesn't sound like the kind of game that I need to go chase. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. Brandon, thank you, by the way, for taking the curmudgeon heat today. I appreciate that. You can be the hater.
What do you mean?
You melting splendor in the chat.
I'm not being curmudgeon. I'm just, calling a bad game a bad game.
Oh,
anyway,
bad game. All right. Yep. What have you played, sir?
This week was one of those great weeks of gaming for me. We played.
Twitter feed was lit up.
We had 13 different games played 20 times. So 20 plays of 13 different games over the week. We didn't play 13 games 20 times. That came out really weird.
That would be amazing.
I'm going to talk about Pit.
This is the second time Pit's been talked about on this show.
Oh, is it? Then I'm going to talk about that.
No, I talked about it. Yeah.
Again, I thought it was. I was trying to be funny.
Did you play Pit?
Yeah, we did. We played Pit on. We had my family's Christmas night. My parents do Christmas like a week before, so we don't have to run around everywhere. So we sat up until we probably played Pit for a good hour and a half. Just trading crap amongst 7 of us, I think, at one point.
Does it have a bell?
It does have a bell. Yeah. It's not that pretty orange one. It's a new silver one, and it doesn't ring quite as well.
Like a customer service bell?
Yeah, it is. Ding needs some service here. But yeah, we played that. What can we talk about?
Did anybody get their hand impaled on the bell because somebody slapped it and another person crushed them? No? It
was 10:30. We'd all been kind of drank a little bit, and we'd also stuffed ourselves silly, so everything was kind of in slow motion. So it was like a really calm game of
Pit. Stoner Pit?
Kind of. That would be like we've just ate ourselves stupid. Pit.
I've seen Stoner.
I guess
Flux.
I could trade like 2. I guess I have 2. I don't know, maybe 3.
Yeah,
how about 2? No, I have 2.
3. What do you want?
Yeah, what do you want? How many do you want? Wow, that sounds like everything that would be terrible and amazing at the same time. Like that'd be a fun game to watch.
Thanks, Brandon. Brandon Rojas called it Lit Pit. So
there you go.
I'm down with that. I'll see if I can get my family to join in that next time.
We'll call it the Colorado variant.
There you go.
Perfect.
I played Nosfjord.
Newsfjord.
Which
we're just gonna invent ways to Hey, Patrick's our official mispronouncer. How do you pronounce that name?
I don't know.
No, we only make it announce people's names, I thought.
Oh, that's fair.
Nosfjord.
Nursfjord. I don't know. I'm not.
Yuminy. I need to get my chef voice going.
Work. All right, fine.
So it's kind of, it's the new U Rosenberg game that's coming from Lookout Mayfair. Probably March-ish. I guess you can kind of look for it if things don't fall apart, in the near future.
Yeah.
And it's another, I don't know, his games just keep getting lighter and lighter to me. And there's less and less.
Wait, what?
And there's no punishment whatsoever in the game.
Hold on. Whoa. Trying to call Feast for Odin light?
I didn't play Feast for Odin. That's just a messy jigsaw puzzle.
No, it is that. Wow. Okay. I guess if you're looking at I don't know what feels lighter and lighter for me. I don't know. Anyway, all right, it's lighter.
You go with Cottage Garden, you go with Patchwork, you go with these games that he's coming out with that are, this thing plays in like 30 minutes or less.
It's that light, huh?
Big, yeah, and the setup takes about 15 of that. Because he's got it's typical Juve still, because you have to have 3-4 different boards of doing. And then you have to have cards on top of those boards out in a certain way. And then you have to have fish along the top of this row here. So basically, I don't even know what you're supposed to be doing. You're running like a fishing village, I think, of some sort. And you're just trying to be the best fisherman possible. And I won. So I guess I was the fisherman extraordinaire that night. But I still don't know what I did. I ended the game with like 30 extra fish just sitting there.
Okay, so I'm laughing a little bit, but I've had similar experiences where I played a game and I'm like, I have no idea why I did anything that I just did. I understood the mechanics, but I didn't understand anything that was peeling it together. Keyflower for me is like the perfect example of that, right? Like Keyflower is one of those games where I have no idea why I'm doing anything I'm doing. It's like that tile looks okay, and then I do it, right?
Yeah,
like that.
It is kind of like that. It's what did I say this morning? Because I typed up my thoughts this morning on it. I was like, there's no wrong option. You're just going to do something that your opponent didn't do. And it's going to make you points, and you're going to do things. You know, so I guess if that's your idea of fun.
Okay. So you want the games to be more punishing?
I do want them to be more punishing. I think somewhere along the line, Chris and I, who sat here and played it with me, we kind of thought somewhere along the line somebody shook you by the ears or something and said, don't do this. People don't like, being, punishing games. They don't like taking the beggar cards. This is what they don't like in games. And he's taken that to heart in everything he's done since, for the most part.
Okay.
I mean, Le Havre, is that kind of punishing? But that's only punishing if you play it.
No, it's punishing. It can be punishing all the time.
It's only punishing if you play it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be punishing at any player count. But so can Feast for Odin. I would say that there's, Matt in the chat. Sorry, Matt Brands, by the way, but Matt Roy has become Matt in the chat, and it's too easy to say, so I'm just going to stick with it. Matt in chat, Matt Roy says that if you skipped Feast for Odin, it will feel like Ube's games are getting lighter, but that's a big hill to have skipped.
But I have no desire to play for Feast for Odin. I played, what was the 2-player game he came out with that was just supposed to be sandboxy and fun, but it was just kind of meh.
I'm not sure we can continue to be friends.
I forgot what that game was.
You're talking about Fields of Arle.
Fields of Arle, that's it.
You're ridiculous. That
so I bought that, and I thought, this is kind of just bleh, and I gave it away. Caverna is just kind of, it's Agricola light. What is he doing? I don't know. Anyway, Newsfjord, people are going to like it, but don't come into it thinking that it's going to be something that's going to blow your mind. It's light.
Okay.
Wow.
Like Glass Road's light?
It's compared to Glass Road. I loathed Glass Road. But there is something similar with it. Yeah, you reminded me. This one ends about 2 rounds too soon, just like Glass Road.
Okay. So there is an entire subgenre of gamer, and we're going to talk about this when we talk about our Game of the Year picks, I think, in a little while, okay? But there's an entire subclass of gamer that seems to want games that have decision, game over, and gets done in this very short period of time. Yeah. That seems to be a thing that has that has caught on, and there are certain game designers that is their wheelhouse. The ones that I always think of is Alex Kevern and Adam McIver. Their games tend to feel like that, where they get done in a real short period of time. You did some stuff along the way, and you made the decisions you needed to make, and then the game ends. And I tend to gravitate away from those sorts of games because they feel a little too short for me. But this might be one of those, right? In which case you are just not the target demographic.
No, I'm not. And I really want to be the target demographic for it because everything he does is a really neat design, and he takes what he is, he tries, I don't know. I want to like Juve's game, but damn it.
All right, that's fair. I really think, and I'm an Ube fanboy. He was on my Mount Games more.
Yeah.
Right, for sure. So I know. So I'm probably. I mean, you and I are.
And I probably had him on there, or he was probably close just for Agricola and Bonanza. But
right, yeah, I really think Feast for Odin is a big hill to have skipped. But I understand if you already weren't going to be a fan, I get it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't enjoy him trying to play in a sandbox. I really don't.
Oh, see, and that's where I think he shines the most. So I get it. All right. So it just occurred to me, we actually didn't do a rating because I'm so discombobulated today. So Newsfjord on the Cubist scale, buy it, play it, forget it, or burn it.
I'll play it if you like Juve's games and if you go into it knowing that it's like Patchwork light.
It's lighter than Patchwork?
No, it's like Patchwork light type of light. It's just, yeah.
Gotcha. I was like, wow.
No, it's not lighter than it. There's still decisions to be made in the game. But yeah. I don't think there's a bad move to make in it.
Gotcha. All right.
I'm just going to do what you don't do, and we'll be fine, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Gotcha.
What does the Crocodile Dundee card do?
That's the elders, I believe. Because one of the things you can do is you can hire elders to work in your village. You have to feed them and everything like that. Like I said, feeding isn't that difficult. You'll end up having a surplus of fish. But they do different things. But yeah, that did look like an elder Crocodile Dundee. He just needed some little what are they, like alligator teeth in the hat?
Yes, yeah, kind of.
That's all he needed.
Pictures I see.
Yeah.
Very good. So backpedaling before we move forward, Patrick.
Play it.
Yours is to play it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it, out of curiosity, really fast, I wanted to say this before and I got confused. Is this theme better? The second skin of the game?
I liked it. I like the look of it better.
Okay. Just curious. Because that was one of the things that turned me off from the first game, is I thought it looked boring.
Yeah. But
then again, I'm a sucker for space, which is probably why I, spoiler, enjoyed Alien Artifacts from Portal Games. Got a review copy of this courtesy of Eric Buscemi of Punchboard Media, where we all bring something to the table.
Oh, damn it, Bill.
See, I'm getting better at that.
Where's Buscemi? He was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
No, he was out.
Oh, was he out? Okay.
Yeah, he's out.
Okay. But so Alien Artifacts is, it looks at first like the next iteration of the 51st State Imperial Settlers style of game, where you have your player board in the center and you're building your tableau of cards and you use it, and those cards are going to give you abilities which will make your engine run a little bit better. It looks like that stylistically on the table, and that's where the similarities end. The way that this game works is you have 3 types of cards. There are ships, technologies, and planets. And whenever you build those cards using this resource deck, which is basically just an abstracted deck that has icons of 4 different flavors on it, from 1 to 3 of each of the icons, 2 different sets of icons per card, right? So like each end of the card will have, this one might have 3 planet icons, and the other side of the same card will have 2 technology icons or whatever. And you have to spend X number of icons in order to get a card from your under construction side of your board to your in play side of board. And once it's in play, it'll do a thing. You can, furthermore, every card is double sided. So when you put it in play, you can decide whether you want it to be on its logistics side or its operational side. Logistics is going to give you in-game abilities to make future card play easier. Operational is going to either give you victory points or a one-shot ability of some variety. And rinse and repeat. You go through the deck. It actually has an endgame trigger very similar to Bonanza. That resource deck that I was talking about with the icons on it, the number of times you shuffle through that is the game timer. So in a 3-player game, for an example, you'll go through the deck 3 times. And at the end of the 3rd trip through the deck, that's the game timer. Count up points. Person with the most points wins. It, as usual, and I hate, I'm the curmudgeon, I guess, so this is my lot in life. As usual, Portal's rulebook is not amazing. If you can get through, it's better than the first Martians rulebook. It is comprehensible with very careful reading. But I think I figured it out. I think part of the issue isn't that the rules aren't there with the way Portal does their rulebooks. It's that he does not highlight things in ways that we have come to expect rules to be highlighted. So if there is a thing that there seems to be certain rules in every game that you need to draw attention to make sure that players understand how that part of the game works. And Portal is not good at highlighting whatever those rules are. So your people like your Brandon Kemps, who have a ritual of reading a rule book 3 times, cover to cover, before they ever get the game out, will probably struggle less than people like me, who read the rule book once, get the idea, and then set the game up and fumble through it. And I just rely on the kindness of strangers to put up with whatever the fumble is.
Or even worse, the people who just learned it on the table.
Yeah. I actually did that last week with another game.
Yeah.
Not learned it, but I mean, I had read the rules and watched videos, but I hadn't actually tried to fumble through the thing. So,
yeah.
All right, here's what the Alien Artifacts. I like it better than Imperial Settlers by a large margin. I think that it is fundamentally a better game than Imperial Settlers. I think Imperial Settlers is way too random because you have it's hard to control what cards you're going to draw off of the deck. And if you don't get cards that help with whatever it is that you've been trying to do, you can struggle in Imperial Settlers through little fault of your own. I'm not saying no fault. There are ways to mitigate that, but it's not intuitive. This game fixes that very nicely. This game does a lot of things right. I think it doesn't overstay its welcome. It gives you the feeling of doing engine building and creating your little tableau that's going to make you better at this and that. I understand why there are comparisons to Race for the Galaxy, but I didn't see them. Race for the Galaxy. Yeah, Race for the Galaxy to me is all about hand management. That's about, do I want to use this card as a resource or as a planet or as a thing? This is not that. This is more like, okay, here are the resources I have in my hands. These can help me get these cards into play, or I can use them to use money to get more cards. It's the hand management. It's not the same kind of hand management at all. It is much more forgiving and much less what cards did I draw based. And for that, I like it better than Race, personally. Having said that, I'm not the biggest Race fan in the world anyway, so this is not a resounding endorsement. I think Alien Artifacts is a solid play it, maybe a trade for it. See, I want to add trade for it in between buy it and play it, because I think there's room for that as a new rating. That legitimately might become a 5th rating on the scale. Because I think there are some games that you want to own them, but you're not going to pay full retail for them.
That's essentially buying it, because you bought something to trade for it.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Wow.
Buy it on the half off table.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but seriously,
half price books. Or what was the old store? Targa? Is that the old one you could use to buy board games that cheap? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I know what you're talking about, though. I think that Alien Artifacts is, for me, it's a trade for it. I'm glad I got a review copy. It will probably stay in my collection because I did really enjoy it. It seems to scale pretty well for player count, which is good. Turns, once you get a handle on how your turns work, it cruises along. I like the inclusive nature of the player boards. Every player board has a male and a female side, so that way there is not, like, it's a very inclusive looking game. They did a really nice job of, the art is nice. Like, everything about this game, the production is really good. Now,
which
having
is
said,
odd because they don't credit an artist on BGG.
Oh, I don't know. I never even looked at that.
Yep, they don't.
But the art is good. And whoever the artist is, I feel really bad about, because that's crap, because that's good art. So that's not okay. Credit your damn artists, people. But it's good. It's a play it. It's a trade for it. I don't know that I would I don't know I would pay full retail for it, especially if you already own games that you feel like this is close to describing. Because I don't think this is going to win you away from another game that you already love in one of these, but I really like it. So, and borrow it? No. Is it? No, Ben. I loan out games, but I'm the weirdo here. Nobody else is going to do that, right? Like that. Well, maybe not nobody, but it's definitely not.
Yeah, I don't generally do that.
No, I don't think most people do.
I borrow games.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I do. I guess I do sometimes. I just don't do it very well. I borrow games a lot, but that's because Captain Buys a Lot has left a pile of games at my house for like a year. So technically, I'm borrowing.
You have borrowed a bunch.
Yeah, but I didn't do it on purpose, right?
Yeah. No. Luckily Chris came into the neighborhood, so I've got somebody to borrow from now instead of me being the loner. Damn it, got that backwards.
Gotcha. All right. Yes. Mav Weirdo in the chat refers to the resource icons as pips. That's actually a really good way to look at it. If you think of it in terms of sort of them being like cards modeled after dice, that actually works really well for that. That's a good observation. So there you go. So that's Alien Artifacts. All right. Best of 2017. Now we're going to talk everything. Here's the rules, gentlemen, because again, we've had no time for prep.
Now we get rules.
There's rules. Okay. That's all right. Rules are really simple. The game has to at least be a play it. And you have to give your rating for whatever it is, right? I know, right? It has to at least be, it should be a buy it, I would think.
I was going to say, I'll preemptively say mine are buy it.
Yeah, and mine are as well. But I'm just throwing that out there. Like, there has to be some sort of a baseline, so that way people that are watching / listening have an idea on where we're landing. So everything that we're talking about here we like a lot to the point where we think we should own it, right? Yep. Is that fair, Patrick?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Okay. All right. There's only 3 of us, so we should be able to actually do this at kind of speed, which will be good.
Yeah, because we've talked about most of them probably as well.
Yep, sure. Exactly. So tell you what, we'll do
sometime during 2017, probably.
Yeah. I hope we had.
By the way, chat room, if you want to play along and you're sitting in front of a computer, the easiest way to do this is go to Board Game Geek, click on advanced search next to the search bar, top middle of the screen, and then type in date published 2017 to 2017.
Oh, so that's actually a rule. It's not
published in
2017.
Published in 2017. We're going to come back. You're spoiling.
Yeah, there's a whole buttload of games that are like new to me.
No, I know. I'm giving you a hard time because I sat there and I was like, do I do this? Do I do this? I went with 2017. So.
Yeah, we're going to talk. We'll talk about new to us games in 2017 too, because I've got a couple of those as well, and I think we're going to have time.
Can we talk about worst games of 2017?
We can talk about the biggest disappointment. Absolutely.
I got one.
Yes.
Okay, so all right, fine. We'll start with negative. No, we'll start with the negative so that way we can end on a high note. I don't want to end on that game sucks.
What if my negative is the high note? What if it gets me all wound up and
well, everything
you're already wound up. You're already wound up.
All right. Since it was your idea, Patrick, what was your disappointment to 2017?
I wasn't ready for it.
Brandon, since it was your idea, what is your disappointment in 2017?
I had probably 7 that are in the running for my worst games. And none of them would I say, oh, well, I take that back. I think I would have this one like at a 3. I was going to say everything's around a 3 or a 5 on Board Game Geek. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not awful, right? I didn't play any of those fundamentally broken piles of trash that you get. Ethnos was my biggest disappointment of the year.
Wow.
Partially it's my buildup for it, partially because I was really eager for CMON to get into these kind of, gateway-ish Euro. This was a area control kind of game. And I love the art. I'm going to be one of those weird people that really like the art for it, but it's done in that old fantasy kind of style. So a lot of people aren't going to dig it.
Sure.
But the game should have just been called Draw a Card.
Yeah,
honest to God.
You did sort of talk about it that way, yeah.
Yeah, honest to God. In 4 plays, some of the combinations, and everybody goes like, well, you just didn't play with the right combinations of races. Well, that's probably true, but I never found the right one. Some of them were worse than others, I will say. Some of them, because what you do basically in the game is you go around and you have cards, and you'll play a set to put your chips out to control an area, right? But then you don't get to hold on to anything. You put everything else out on the offer. And so then everybody's going to take those. And when those are gone, if nobody's playing, you're just going to keep drawing cards around the table. You could call it top decking the game. And it got old really fast. And I don't understand the love that people gave for this just because of that. And I understand it's supposed to be a ticket to ride kind of thing. And I know Ticket to Ride does that a little bit. You could feel like, well, crap, nothing's getting out there. I got to draw. But at least it's refreshed, right?
Sure.
The board is not refreshed until somebody lays something down. So you're relying on everybody else. And then some of these powers basically nullify that ability, so you don't have to lay things down. Or you can play extra cards. So it just further exasperates the fact that there's no cards out there to pick up. So it's set collection area control that feels like Uno or something like that.
Gotcha. All right, Patrick, have you had time to think about it?
I had to think about it. I'm not completely sold, but I'm going to go with Unlock.
Okay.
Somebody best described it as "Where's Waldo?" the board game
on cards.
On cards, because it's that. It's just, can you find the little tiny? Brandon, you talked about it once, and we had the same problem. Can you find the hidden number on the card?
Good Lord.
Can you be clever at solving this puzzle, which is really what an escape room is trying to do. I've only played one of the exits. I've only played one of the unlocks, and I've done them Stargazer Manor, and I've done lots of real escape rooms, and none of them replicate real escape rooms. But the exit room made me feel clever.
Yeah.
I have to turn the cards sideways. I have to pick up the box and move it this way. I'm not playing Where's Waldo, so I have to compare the two.
Okay.
Whereas Unlock, I just spent 20 minutes looking for
a number
14 hidden inside underneath, and we literally got out this magnifying glass that I used to paint models that has a flashlight built into it, so we could find these freaking numbers after a while. And it took my wife and I like an hour and 45 minutes to do the Unlock. I mean, we still had fun with it. I'm not saying we didn't enjoy playing together as a couple and solving the puzzle, but it was just in general, generally a disappointment compared to the others.
Gotcha. All right. My disappointment game, I think for 2017 is, boy, and I'm going to struggle with this one because I haven't played a lot of games that I really, really disliked this year, period. The closest thing that I can come up with is maybe Sagrada. Like I like Sagrada, but I really wanted it to be a little more than it was. I think that it's too easy to make mental mistakes on which die goes next to which. Every time I played or heard about it being played by X, inadvertently cheated at least once in the game, and I don't think there's nothing. It's not the game's fault. I just feel like, to me, I wanted it to be what I wanted. Okay, was Sagrada to be the better version of Role Player, which I really disliked because Role Player to me felt like a silly theme wrapped around a really crunchy game, and I don't want that. Right? Like if the game is going to be silly, I want the game to be silly, and if the game is going to be crunchy, I want it to be crunchy, and that just felt at odds. I wanted Sagrada to fix that, and it didn't, and I don't know why. So I think it's just me. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the game. I just I recognize that. It's not for me. I wanted it to be something more than it was. And I definitely know that other people are going to love it, just not for me. Okay. All right. The biggest surprise. Now, this is the other half, right? Like this is a game that you didn't think you were going to love and then ended up liking a lot.
Where did that come from?
I'm inventing stuff. I'm going to keep throwing Patrick under the bus.
Keep talking, Bill.
I put it in the chat. So there. Ha.
Oh, I missed that one. I saw New to Me a minute ago. Where did the biggest surprise
It was before that.
I got that one.
Ha. All right. What do you got?
Jeez Louise.
Oh, I thought you had something.
People.
I can. Absolutely.
Why don't you?
Fox in the Forest is my biggest surprise.
Okay. There you go.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Sure.
I did not expect a 2-player trick taker to work.
And it works wonderfully.
And it works wonderfully. So I'll give that out there.
Cool.
Kudos to Josh Burgell and Randy Hoyt for getting that one working.
Yes, that was a good.
Chimera Station is going to be my biggest surprise.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be nothing but a dumb gimmick. And it actually is kind of fun. I actually have been actively wanting to play that some more.
That's cool.
Play with different combinations. I really thought that was just going to be stupid. And it was good. It was good enough that I've been thinking about it off and on, and I kind of want to make a point of getting it back to the table. Brandon, biggest surprise.
Memoir. It's a memory game done right, and it's fun. And I've never seen so many people want to throw things over just a silly memory game. And that's really all it is memory with a little bit of Simon, because after every one round, you just flip the cards back over. Everything stays the same. So in theory, you're going to keep getting further and further matching each time. And it's just a lot of fun. Really light, 15 minutes. But Memoir, I didn't expect to like it that much.
Gotcha.
Nice.
By the way, I want to backpedal. I want to change my biggest disappointment from Sagrada because I just found a game that was a bigger disappointment. And that was the Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective Jack the Ripper and West End Adventures. I really pretty intensely disliked it, and I really wanted.
Is that just the remake?
It's the second one.
Oh, okay.
It's the second one that came out this year. Molly, I got it because I had heard a lot of people talk about how good of a couples game / activity it was.
Detective.
Huh?
I love Consulting Detective.
Yeah, it's the same game. It's just the second one with 10 different stories.
Okay.
It's not me. Not me. I thought it was going to be a lot better than it was. So there you go. All right. Let's see. What was the third one? I added one. Okay, so let's just go best game of the year. Now, this is the one that I actually warned people we were going to do. So now you don't have an excuse. What was your game of the year published in 2017, Brandon?
It's kind of a toss-up
No. Game
right now.
Singular. Fine, you can do two. Go.
No, that's fine. We'll do one.
No, do two. Too late.
Right now, I'm going to lean with, I mean, and this is, with the caveat that there's so many 2017 games we haven't played, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get to most of them. I know you aren't going to get to most of them. But I'm going to go with Azul as the best of the year.
Wow.
I honestly, I don't know. I didn't find, I was desperately searching. I really was, for like a medium heavy game to kind of throw into this. And I didn't feel like any of them were worth it that I played. I should say, sorry, with the caveat, I have played. I haven't played Lisboa. Sorry, Matt. But Azul kind of just tickles all those things. I mean, I don't remember the last time I had a game for about a month now. I think I've had it. And we're approaching 20 plays already of this thing.
Holy crap.
Just gets played all the time. And 30 minutes, reset it, do it again. It's Sagrada done right. You don't have those stupid little hidden kind of things you're shooting for. You don't have those silly little powers that you have to mess with. You're just building a pattern on your board. And I love the drafting it at the, I take this color, the rest go into the middle to create this bigger pool of things in the middle that you can take from. It really drives it, and I absolutely enjoy it. I think Michael Kiesling has a winner with it.
I'm going to play it for the first time on Wednesday, I believe.
Yep, and you'll tell me you hate it.
I don't know. I
think you'll like it. It has a mean streak in it, which kind of is a positive for me.
I'll say that's why you like it.
Because there are those moments where you can legit hate draft and still help yourself and just absolutely kill your opponents.
Okay.
Where they end up with so many negative points in a round. It's wonderful.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Did I say a big what game? I'm so discombobulated today. Chat room and listeners and viewers, I'm sorry, I'm all over the map. Did I say my biggest surprise? What did I say?
We skipped surprise.
No, I did memoir and you did.
Oh.
What did you do?
Wow.
We're now having technical difficulties in the brain.
Yeah, just my brain is killing me. All right. So I tell you what, Patrick, do too. If you have a surprise hit, the thing that you didn't expect to like, and then like, you can say that, but then your best game of the year.
Did I do one?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Wow. This is terrible.
Was I the only one who did a surprise for crying out loud?
I think so, because I know what my surprise hit game is, I think.
I lost my list.
What?
I lost my list.
Okay. My surprise hit game for this year that I really, and I'm stalling now because I just had a brain fart literally after we started talking about it. I know
tonight.
This is terrible. It's terrible. I'm really glad our chat room really likes us a lot. I'm going to go with, oh my God, Bill, what is your problem? Holy crap. This is the worst.
I know my surprise was Fox and the Forest. Sorry.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. Okay. See, you did do one. Good.
All right. While you think, I'll talk about my favorite game.
Please.
My favorite game, because I keep thinking about it right now, is Near and Far. I played it a lot in the solo mode, and I keep wanting to get it out and do the adventure. I've not done the adventure. And I was very jealous of Mason Weaver, and he talked about how excited he was going through the adventure and playing it all out, and disappointed he was that it ended. And I want to do that. That's my goal for 2018, is to do all 10 of those, as sort of a group thing. So that's my goal.
Very cool. Yeah. So big, Near and Far. Oh, I can't believe I'm going to say this on my show. Near and Far was really close to the running for my biggest disappointment.
Wow.
I like almost everything about it, but there is a flat out borked rule in the game that breaks the game.
What's that?
It's one of the skills that you can get in the campaign mode that allows you to spend food as if it is hearts. I don't remember what the name of the actual skill is, but if you get that skill, you can just basically run through the board without ever having to reset, or not without having to reset, but without having to reset often. And as soon as one of the players in our campaign figured that out, it's just off to the races he went, and the rest of us were like, wait, what? And by the time, and it takes so long to get experience points in that game. So, but I love Near and Far. That's why it broke my heart, right? Because I'm such a Ryan Lockett fanboy and I think it's a good game. I think you just need to play without that. Okay, my surprise game is this War of Mine. Okay. That was one that I was not particularly expecting to really like, and I think it did. It is a really, really smartly designed and good. It's one of those decks of cards games where, you know, you'll have a million decks of cards all around the table, and you got to flip a card from this deck to see what happens here, and you flip a card from this. You know, the Arkham Horror model, or all of the Fantasy Flight games ever. This feels like the best version of that I've ever seen. It really does a great job telling a story. I'm going to do a full review on it in probably next week's show. I don't want to talk too much about it, but spoilers, it's a buy it for sure. It's really good. So I think that was my surprise. And my game of the year is this is why I was going to let you have two, Brandon, and this is why I backpedaled and said, no, do two, because I realized that I have two.
We have plenty of time. We started late.
That's true. I have two, and I don't know which one. I think I'm going to go with the Seventh Continent, though, for my game of the year. And I was going to go. The other one is Pulsar 2849, which I think is wildly underrated. But I think the Seventh Continent wins because it does something really unique and interesting. It is one of those games that did something new, right? Like, I feel like every once in a while we get a game that comes around and does something that no other game has done in some way or another. And this feels like that game. It feels like a game that did something that no other game currently on the market does well. I mean, Time Stories sort of tries to do it, but has problems in spots that are, that I think hurt the actual storytelling experience. Seventh Continent fixes that. And it's really good. But Pulsar, I don't know. Pulsar is a better Euro game. Like, if you're a Euro gamer, Pulsar it wins hands down between those two. If you're a thematic gamer, Seventh Continent. I think I'm turning into a thematic gamer as I get older. So there you go. What was your second one, Brandon?
Honestly, I'm probably going to go with Majesty for the Realm. It's so weird that I'm picking these kind of lightweight games, especially one by the guy who made Splendor. But anyway, it works, and it works. It's really fun. It's a fun card drafting thing. If you remember how you play Century Spice Road or Small World, that's how you buy your cards off of the offer there. You're just going to spend workers to put out there, and they're going to come into your town. You're basically just trying to make your town earn as much money as possible. And it's fun. 12 rounds, lightning quick, really light, and it can be, what's the word I want to use? It can be subject to problems if the wrong cards come out at the wrong time a little bit, but you just got to kind of find a different way to draft around that and make more money.
Gotcha. Did you ever runner up, Patrick?
The Harlem Globetrotters game.
I hate you. What? The game's terrible. I had to play that in the stupid show.
I played it too.
So bad.
Gosh, what my runner up?
And here's the thing, folks. Just because we're picking our top game or two games, I've seen a couple of media people that have talked about how they didn't feel like 2017 was a particularly strong year.
No, there was a lot of games that I had to choose from here.
There are a lot of I would argue this is an incredibly strong year for games. Do you notice how none of us said Gloomhaven, by the way?
No, it's not grabbing me.
My 3 plays of it didn't qualify it. I mean, it's basically sat there since we got it.
I love Gloomhaven.
I don't particularly think it was a strong year for games. I think it had a good, strong second half. I think it was bottom heavy, meaning family weight games and medium weight games are fantastic. I feel bad for the heavyweight gamers. I just don't think that there's a lot out there. You could say Kalimala or whatever, but
yeah, I got to play those more. It's like I played Kalimala once. I played Favelas once. I played Indian Summer once. It's like I'm not ready to pick those as game of the year. If I only played them once.
Well, in Indian Summer, we'll argue it'll be way below that weight wise. I think it's struggle in the upper echelons, and I know we'll get kickback from the heavy cardboard people saying it was a fantastic year, but I'm going to call bull on it. I don't think there was that much out there that was.
I think that Lisboa is getting a lot of love.
It is,
and it's heavy as hell.
Yeah,
in my humble opinion.
It's lighter. I mean, technically when I played it, it was lighter than the Gallerist. It was lighter than Vinos.
You're an insane person full of crazy thoughts. There's none of those things that Brandon has said.
I tested it with Vital.
Well, la di freaking da. That doesn't make the game lighter. It means you're more used to me. No, it just means you played it more. He's an insane person, ladies and gentlemen. Don't listen to him.
I think the way it works a lot easier. So I think it's going to be easier for people to grok on. How about that?
Hell no. No.
I haven't played it since it became an actual thing.
No. I have played. Look, I love Kanban. I love the Gallerist. Lisboa was opaque as hell. I mean, maybe I just had a bad teaching day or whatever, but that is not. I mean, it might be lighter than the Gallerist. Maybe. It's not lighter than Kanban. Kanban makes a lot more sense. I don't know. Nuts. I don't know. Heavier games, I feel like there are a fair number. Anachrony, I haven't played. Gloomhaven, I would argue, is a heavy game. But not just because you could kill a man with the box if you needed to, but I mean the way that the game plays, in order to play it at any kind of a competent level, there's a lot of thought in that game. There's a lot of planning and how am I going in hand management. There's a ton in that box, I thought. I would argue that Spirit Island is a very, very good heavy game. Very heavy.
Okay. See, I didn't think of it as a heavy game. I figured it was a medium weight kind of up there.
Well, that was. I
haven't played it, and I haven't read the rule book, so I couldn't say. I just
it felt heavy.
It was that.
It felt real heavy.
Okay.
I mean, I've only played it. I only played the one time, but it definitely did not feel. Yeah.
It's a bit long, but it's not. I don't know if it's heavy.
I don't know. It's one of those games. I mean, it's greater than games, right?
See, I still haven't played the Ruhr. I loved Hashball Connect, which was the lighter of the bunch. I haven't played Ruhr yet, Ruhr Valley, whatever they called it. Other than that, I just really don't find myself seeking out those heavy games that came out this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, and maybe that
is right. Kama Sutra is the game of the year.
There you go.
But see, and I wonder if maybe
not to burst your bubble.
Nice. I don't know.
All right, I'm out of here. Enjoy the fish.
All right, let's backpedal. How about your best new to you game this year?
That's easy. It's Modern Art. I had never played it until this year.
Really?
Yep. It had long been, the Mayfair version had long been on my wish list.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally found a group that had a copy of it, and we played it, and we played it, and we played it. Then Simon saved our souls and brought us the new version. And then I got the Oink Games version. Yeah, Modern Art is, I love Modern Art. So that's probably my best new. I haven't
played it.
That's probably my best new to me. Manhattan may be up there too. I'm looking forward to the reprint of that. I love Manhattan. I know it's weird.
No, Manhattan's good. I just like to hear somebody talk about that as game of the
it's a new to me game of the year.
No, I get it. I
mean, that was a Spiel winner or a nom, wasn't it? Come on.
I don't know. Maybe.
Is that the area control one?
Yeah. Yep. And it's getting a new version next year, so maybe that'll be my best new to me in 2018 as well.
Okay. Mine, Patrick, you got a new to you game, or you want me to do one first?
Go ahead. I'm still humming and hawing over a couple of lists, thinking of them.
Merchants and Marauders is my new to me game for this year. It is the Sid Meier's Pirates, the video game, in board game form.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. If you want to be a jerk and run around and sink ships, you can do that for points. If you want to play a pick up and deliver game, you can do that for points. If you want to complete weird side missions and do that, you can do that for points. There's a lot in the box. By the way, I will say this, the Sales of Glory expansion is glorious. And if you are going to go get Merchants of Marauders, just go buy Sales of Glory 2.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Because the Sales of Glory, not only does it add a million new modules that you can jazz up the game, but it adds some stuff that should have been in the base game to begin with. Just flat out components that make the base game better in dumb little ways, but really useful versions. I really, really like it. It is currently set up on my game table waiting for a solo play. Like right now it's set up and got re-racked because I enjoy it that much. There is a solo variant, by the way, on BGG. It is not strictly speaking a solo game, but it's extremely easy. It is one of those games that you can turn it into a solo game with one rule change, which is the mark of a good solo game, right? Like you don't have to relearn anything. You don't have to play a dummy player. You just go. It's really good. It's really good. I like it. Patrick?
I'm going to go with Hansa Teutonica. Played it for the first time.
How am I friends with either one of you?
Why? You don't like that?
God, I hated Hansa Teutonica.
It's solid. It's the solid, driest Euro there is.
I bet it's sitting here on my shelf waiting to play at some point, but I just never have. The dry season's always around. I don't want to get it out.
The nice thing about it is that it's short and tight. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't overstay its welcome. That's what I really liked about it. It's just really tight, and it was good.
Yeah, it's fair. I don't know. Modern. See, it's just funny. This is okay. You know what? Everybody that here within the sound of my voice that likes to call me a curmudgeon and complain that I'm grumpy all the time, listen up. All right, I'm talking at you right now. Listen, I think Brandon and Patrick are both wildly incorrect on their best new to them games. I think Modern Art is solvable, and I think Hansa Teutonica has no soul whatsoever. But I love the fact that they have discovered two games that everybody else in the world considers classics, right? Mm-hmm. That's the best part about this hobby. So for all of you that think that I drink too much haterade and that I poo-poo other people's games, this is the part where you need to pay attention. Just because I think a game is wretched doesn't mean that you shouldn't like it, okay? So everybody calm down.
And doesn't mean that he's right at all.
That's fine. Hey, I said in all the promo tweets that you could feel free to tell me how wrong I was this week, and this is part of it. But yeah, Hansa Teutonica, yikes. Netters is catching up. It is hot in my apartment, Netters. And that's all we're going to say about that. My apartment is having climate control issues. So there you go. Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. The Merchants and Marauders is so much better than both of the games you guys talked about. You're nuts. That's fine.
Oh. No.
I want to play the new.
Half the Modern Art fun is in the group you get, right? It's in that auctioning off those paintings and selling it to them. And then finding that one guy who will just wildly overbid for something, even though you know it's not worth that and it never will be. That's the fun of that game.
So suckering people that can't do math?
Yeah, card game? Absolutely.
Oh, that sounds like joy in a box.
And role-playing it. Come on.
Yikes. In role-playing? What? You know what?
It's a classic, man.
It is a classic. All right, that's fine. All right. In the chat, we had a couple people that were talking about what they think their games of the year and their thing. So I wanted to shout out a few of these. Mab Weirdo picked Photosynthesis as he thinks his best game of the year. I still haven't played it. And Brandon, you said the first edition rules ruined it, huh?
But for me, they kind of cleaned them up, and I don't even know that there's a second edition version of the rules. They just kind of fixed them online. You know, it's one of those things like, whoa, well, we'll just change this, and now this is the facts. It's a neat game, don't get me wrong, and I really enjoyed it for about a half dozen plays. It's just one of those games that kind of has that, that curve of, whoa, there it is, and then here it starts falling off. Or your enjoyment. It didn't last for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everybody says, play it at 4 players. Play it with, that's just good. Or at 4 rounds, the advanced version. And it's just going to make it longer, and it's going to make my pain a little bit longer.
Gotcha.
But I enjoyed it for a while. Yeah.
There you go. I like that a lot of people are talking about Azul as a big game and Tulip Bubble getting big surprise or big love.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but positive things.
I haven't played that one yet. I want to.
Yep.
Real bad. Let's see. A lot of Finka's wretched too. How are we friends at all? Like, I just, oh my God.
I'm gonna boot you off your own show.
Yeah, nice. Thank you, me, for being on the show. Yes, there you go. Now Patrick's invoking El Grande.
Hey, no. Somebody brought it up earlier, and I was just commenting on it. I did not.
All right.
Bring it up. But people are agreeing. I will point out.
Of course
that it's a great game.
Of course they are.
I think Netters, Azul, I think Majesty, and you're going to have a surprise for the third one. It'll probably be Queen Domino, is my opinion.
So
I would not be.
Where was the chat about what's the next in this series?
Oh, I don't know.
Prince Domino.
Fats Domino.
Cousin Domino.
I like that.
There should be. I would like.
If
they don't do a Fats Domino joke, I will be really sad.
Yeah.
Actually,
I was surprised by Queen Domino. I was all set to dislike it because it takes King Domino and makes it into something it shouldn't be. Lengthier and things like that. But it was actually fun. I quite enjoyed it.
See, now this literally, and I'm not even like trying to be contrary here. That's the part that makes this weird. Your description of Queen Domino makes me want to play it now, because King Domino, I bought it, I played it, and I sold it.
The beauty of King Domino is in how fast you can sit there and play it, and how many choices are made just in the little short span. And it's a fun little, points race, basically, is all it is. I love King Domino.
See, I wanted there to be
more. I would have named it my 2017 Game of the Year, but I was told I couldn't. 2016, even
correct.
We didn't get it here until 2017.
That's correct. There, yes.
But you didn't tell me that. Somebody was texting me and said you can't call it that. Chris.
Fine. Thank you,
call
Chris.
It out.
Thank you.
Jerks.
All right. That was fun. I feel like I don't feel like we have ever covered this many games in one show.
No.
Like we just rapid fired through all the things. That's awesome. I'm definitely not going to remember all these. So you guys have to send me an email or something with all the games that you talked about. You have to.
Is there anything on the outside looking in that you think might make it, that gives a chance for 2017, that maybe you have sitting there that you haven't played, or things you've seen on the horizon that you're going to get sooner or later, but you just haven't tried?
For me?
Yeah.
I really want to play Dice Forge. I like Rattlebones a lot. I know a lot of people don't.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
I know a lot of people didn't like Rattlebones because they felt like it was just a roll and move game with the customizable dice. But I really dug it.
I liked it.
And so if Dice Forge takes that same idea and jazzes it up a little bit more and brings it so that way we can use that really clever mechanic in a way that more people will find more satisfying, that's the one that I'm really interested in personally. Pandemic Season 2 is one that I really want. I haven't quite gotten around to yet because Molly and I have just been too damn busy to even think about it. And I am hoping that 4th edition Twilight Imperium will be the one that I finally get to the table. Like I'm hoping that I can play TI4. I really want to. Really, really want to. How about you, Patrick? What's stuff that you missed that you
I am excited about Dinosaur Island. I don't know how it seems to be people getting excited about getting it. I haven't heard much more about it. But it looks fun.
Pink.
So much pink. You're right.
There's a lot of pink.
Which one was this? Sorry, I missed it.
It's the
Dinosaur
pink one.
Island.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
the pink one.
Yes, the Grand Theft Auto Vice City of board games.
Hey,
Miami Vice
pops out on the shelf, I guess.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I can't think of anything else that I picked up. Santa's getting me Azul, so I'm excited to try it.
Yeah,
based on all the positive feedback.
Oh, the other one that I haven't played yet that I cannot wait for, and it won't come out till next year, is Noria. I really want to play Noria.
Oh, we didn't talk about it yet. I also am excited to try out Venus Next. Just leave all my cards.
I think you'll like Noria, Bill, but I don't know that it'll stand up for you.
What is that?
I played it, and it's interesting for about the first half of the game. And then once the wheels get turning, you're just like, oh, well, okay.
So once your engine is running, you're just kind of riding it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it really has promise, and that was one play. One suboptimal play.
Hot take.
So.
Hot take palooza. I like it.
Yep, it is.
Very good.
Yeah, beautiful looking game, and I love the idea of the gears and the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I'm looking forward to Heaven and Ale, although I guess
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Plan B won't get it here until 2018, but I guess it's technically another 2017 release. There was one more I mentioned. But
it was just interesting. You were talking about that and the gears and stuff and how those are. It looks neat, but then it falls flat. What is it? God, I can't remember the name of the game, but it has the sloping board, and you put your tokens up on it.
It's not your Kalimala, it's the other one, right?
The other one that was really big.
Agra.
Thank you, Agra. And you drink your Agricola while you're playing it, and
all brown game.
Anyway, all the bits were falling off while they were playing it, and finally I saw a game where somebody played it and they laid the board down and they just didn't bother with the sloping, and so it came with this fancy, neat looking board, and it doesn't function functionally and makes it hard to play. I was like, that's too bad.
There were a lot of people that had similar issues when Alchemist first came out, because Alchemist uses that shield that has the little spots where you could put the deduction tokens as you learn things. And people had a lot of problems with that as well, and still have issues with it for some reason. Yeah. But I never had a problem. I get that.
Anyway, it just looked real cool. It was very photogenic at BGG.
Gotcha. Oh, man. Chad Roberts in the chat. Chad in the chat. See, we have Matt in the chat and Chad in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Say that 3 times fast. I know. When Brass gets here, I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
He's saying that a lot of people are going to sell it as soon as they play it.
Yeah, well, he's an insane person full of crazy ideas. Again, you fit in with everybody on the show that isn't me, Chad. Brass is a wonderful game.
I've never played Brass. I want to play
such
Brass,
a good game.
But I just have a feeling it's going to be like that too. A lot of people are going to buy it just because of Roxley's game, and what with their last hits, it was Santorini and things like that.
I mean, if
this is out of the wheelhouse.
If you're buying it based on your opinion of Santorini, you're going to be really unhappy.
Yeah, which I think it's a Kickstarter thing. Of course, people are doing that, but I adore that game. I can't wait to get a copy that's actually worth playing, because it isn't ugly and full of crap components. So I cannot wait to get that. That'll be lovely. Yeah. I'm looking forward to finally learning London. So maybe that'll be another new to me in 2017. Bill can scoff at.
No, I think I played London and I liked it.
Yeah,
I don't think I loved it. I think I liked it. I don't remember. So
I'm still looking for a Martin Wallace I like. So
I just I know there's a few. Have you tried Tinner's Trail? You should try that one.
Okay. Nope, I have not.
That's one of those. Maybe I'll send you my copy, because my copy, it's a little bit too light for me and my group, but it's mean and does all the things that Martin Wallace is good at in a fairly short playtime. Okay. That's good. So, all right. Real fast, couple quick programming notes. Number one, this is the part of the show where we always do our cheap plugs, and we're going to let the boys do theirs in a second. But really fast, Patreon has rolled back their truly wretched ideas on how the fee structure should be done. And they have gone, and they are not enacting any of those new changes. So Patreon backers, for now. Thank you so much for hanging in there. We really appreciate the support. We're going to stick with Patreon for right now, unless anything weird happens. So I'm just giving everybody a heads up. There have been a lot of podcasts and shows that have been talking about going to a different service. We are not going to do so here on the Cubist yet, mostly just because I don't have the time and energy to sink into creating a second platform, and I've got all this crap set up. So we're going to stay on it for right now, but thank you very much. For those of you that did pull your backing, no harm, no foul. I definitely get it. I don't blame you. That was the way that they handled that was less than awesome and felt really shady, but we appreciate everybody that does support the show in whatever way you do. Check out the merch. I'm going to be putting up, I'm going to tell you this right now, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to keep an eye on the merch store for the Cubist for now until the end of the year. We're going to run as deep of a discount as I can on things to get a bunch of merch out there to celebrate the holidays. I didn't get a chance to do it ahead of time. Obviously, I wasn't on the show last week, so I missed the window that I had originally had to run the sale in time for Christmas. But we're going to run an awesome end of the year sale on the merch store. So if you feel like supporting the show, head over to thecubistpodcast.com and click on shop at the top. You can get lots of stuff. Brandon just now remembered his bottom third in time to do the cheap plugs. Brandon, if people want to know more about you, what you do, sorry for outing you. Audio people wouldn't have caught that.
That's okay. Yeah. I was sitting there looking, and I was like, something doesn't look right.
I never did that. Neither did Patrick either. Patrick usually puts something smarmy in the bottom of his, and he didn't have his either.
I think he's doing that now. You can find us on the What Did You Play This Week podcast, and we will be canceling our Patreon, and I will be canceling my Patreon account. So,
alrighty then.
Dude.
What?
I was counting on that money.
See how I'm not the angry one on the show anymore? Just throwing that out there.
I'm not angry with it. It's all good. I don't feel like it's worth it for me at this point.
There you go. And
I appreciate the support that everybody's given us on Patreon. It's fantastic. We'll let you know if we go somewhere else.
There you go. And there are definitely other things, but What Did You Play This Week is one of the shows, and I'm not just saying this because I am an occasional infrequent contributor. It's a great show. So if you're listening and you haven't ever checked out What Did You Play This Week, you should. It's good. It's contributor based, lots of different voices, lots of fun stuff.
We're biased, but yeah, we think you should too.
Patrick?
I am Patrick Hillier. I can be found on Twitter at OverTheHillier.
Patrick.
For those of you listening at home, I just wrote something schmarmy under my as my tagline on the bar on the chat room. Anyway, I am also on the What Did You Play This Week podcast. Among other things, I do the conversation show with guests such as Brandon and guest hosts and guests like Mike Primo from Primo, thank you, from Path of Play, who was on this week, and that was a little bit of a tearjerker talk that we had. That was really good. A good listen. I mean, we had some laughs too, but go ahead and give that one a listen. It's a little bit long.
He kind of had us in shock there or not shock. We just kind of were listening.
Yeah.
And then before I knew it, like 15 minutes have passed, and I was like, Patrick hasn't said anything.
Yeah. But what do you say? He just he knew what he needed to tell us. So it was a great episode. So give that one a listen if you have a chance. You have some time. Cool. But anyway, I don't know who's up next. We're working on that.
Me. Oh, you mean on the show?
Bill, you're
it's me.
Yeah.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you feel like supporting our show, go to thecubistpodcast.com. All the links you need are across the top. And we appreciate everybody's support. Chat room, thank you so much for hanging with us tonight and having a good time. Quick programming note, there will be no show next week. Next week is Christmas Day. And I cannot imagine anybody actually wanting to sit down at the computer and yap on Christmas Day. I might do an informal thing. So I would say if you want to know for sure, and if you want to be notified whenever informal things happen, click the little bell on the YouTube channel, and that way you'll get an actual push notification when a new video goes up. There is a chance that I will do a thing myself next week, but there will be no full show, which means audio listeners, I'm sorry, you're going to miss a week. Video people, you might not. We'll see. And then the week after that, on New Year's Day, we will plan on something. We'll get everybody in here all hungover and whatever, and we'll start off 2018. Hopefully with an episode about the most anticipated games of the coming year. So stuff we're looking forward to for next year will be in 2 weeks. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, Patrick and Brandon, for the last minute and dealing with the tech difficulties. I appreciate it. Everybody, have yourselves a fantastic week. We will catch y'all in 2 weeks. Have yourself a great holiday. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that fun stuff.
Good night.
We'll see you.